Hi everyone, so today I'm out at the Manassas National Battlefield Park here in Virginia, and I just got back from the dentist, and this side is all numb. They put a crown in. But in any case, if I slur a little bit, just pardon me, but I thought maybe it might be a little fun too. So anyway, what I wanted to do today was talk about this wide angle converter for your 14 to 42R kit lens. And you know, it's not for the pancake one that has the electric zoom. This is strictly for the manual zoom 14 to 42 kit lens, because there's kind of a special mount that it goes onto around that lens. But this lens is actually, this little adapter is awesome. It turns your 14 millimeter lens into an 11 millimeter on the wide end, and I think it's about 36 millimeters on the long end. So you get an 11 to 36 millimeter, or in 35 millimeter equivalent, it's a 22 to 72. So that's pretty solid range to work with, even when you have this adapter on. And you don't have to change any settings in the camera. You just put this on and it works. So what I want to do today is, maybe to get a few pictures of the park here, so you can kind of see the quality of this lens, but it's excellent. Now, there are some cheap Chinese ones that you can buy on eBay for like $15. And I've seen a few reviews of that, and those lenses suck. They get kind of blurry around the edges, and they're not very sharp, and there's a lot of vignetting. So, it might be fun to have because they're only $15. But honestly, if you want to get a good wide angle converter, Olympus is the only way to go in this case. And this is $99, so it's not cheap. But if you look at it this way, if you get this wide angle adapter, you don't need to get the 9 to 18 millimeter that they have that's like $500. So this will save you from getting that lens. Now, if you already have a 9 to 18 millimeter, don't get this, okay? So my advice is one or the other, not both in this case. So if you need to go wider than 11 millimeters, then yeah, you have to go with a 7 to 14 like I have. And I use that almost strictly for real estate work. But for casual shooting, like here at the park or at parties, etc., I think this is a good choice to get that extra bit of room, particularly indoors when you don't have a lot of space to move back and forth, right? You can be in smaller rooms and get everybody in the picture. And this is also a really good adapter to have if you want to vlog with your camera, because the kit lens at 14 millimeters is a little bit narrow. And I'll show you later on when I do some vlogging examples. But with this on it at 11 millimeters, you're fine. It's almost the perfect vlogging distance for like hand holding the camera this way. And I think those are all the benefits of having a lens like this. And right now I have my Pen PL8. I'm filming with that today with the 14 to 42 kit lens. And this just goes right on the front, and you'll see, and I have the kit lens set at 14 millimeters. But look at the difference, okay? Now, I just put it on. I didn't have to change any settings, and automatically I'm wider. More than 20% wider than the standard 14 to 42. So what I want you to do is look at the tree line here and over here. And maybe, I don't know, these cannons, okay, that are lined up around here. When I take this off, okay, see the difference? Let me put it on again. Hopefully it'll refocus on me. Hello, yeah. All right, so it's hard for me to see because there's sun right in my face, but yeah, I think it's a significant difference. So it's really good for like landscape photography as well. And I'll walk around here and get a few shots of that as well. So you can kind of get an idea. And I'll post these pictures, or I'll put links down below to the pictures I'm taking today, so you can inspect these pictures for yourself, because there's virtually no degradation in image quality. In fact, I think they're even better when you're using this lens. And I'll tell you why, because this lens is effectively working very similar to those lens turbo converters that you see. They sell those from, you know, $150 to $400 or $500 for the Metabones one. Because what's it doing? It's compressing, right, everything in the scene onto your sensor. Just a little bit. I calculate it to be like 0.78. The lens turbos are like 0.72. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Essentially what I'm trying to say is you're getting a better image quality when you're using this lens converter, in my opinion. Okay, now I'm not going to pixel peep and look at everything, but I'll leave the images down below for you to pixel peep. And I'll try and put links to the raw files if I remember to set everything right in the camera. Hopefully I'll get that right. But okay, so let me just take a quick picture for you so you can kind of see how this scene looks, because this is what we've been looking at with and without the teleconverter. And again, I'm at 14 millimeters f4. One picture. Now let me take this off. Very good. I'll put this back on. And let's zoom in. Oh, look, the composition is almost perfect as it is. We'll pick this focus point here on the Canon and take a picture. Let me take this off. Focus on the Canon again. All right, so I have my vlogging setup here, and let me just talk about this for a minute because I really like this setup, and this is something I use a lot. This is the Pen PL8 with the kit lens, and I have my little Pixie tabletop tripod. But a lot of people, they complain that, you know, when you flip the screen down, the tripod gets in the way. So to fix that, I got this little flash bracket for like $6. And now I can mount the tripod off center here so I can flip the screen down. And then I've also added this CMA adapter. Okay, this is the CMA 1 microphone adapter that you can get. And that lets me plug in a real microphone into the camera. And as for the microphone, I have my Pro Azden XD or Azden Pro XD wireless microphone system. I like it because it's very small and light. And just to hold it onto the camera, I just have it kind of wrapped around itself using this coiled cord. Now on the tripod, you'll notice here it says like Wilson. This tripod's actually very slippery. So what I did is I bought some grip tape that you use like on tennis rackets and just wrapped it around each leg so I got a much better grip. And it comes off real easy if you want it to, if you change your mind. But all right. That's the vlogging setup. Now the kit lens I have set now at 14 millimeters, so we're going to walk around using just the kit lens without the wide angle adapter. One of the nice things about using a wide angle lens is the ability to vlog and then capture the environment around you. Now 14 millimeters, in my opinion, even though I have this on the end of my tripod a little bit, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not quite wide enough, and you'll see the difference when I put the wide angle adapter on here. Okay, so we're shooting at 14 millimeters, so one of the things that happens when you're using the Pen PL8, and really almost any camera, is it's using both in-body and digital stabilization at the same time, and that's really the best way to vlog, so you get the most, you know, steady shots. But it crops in just a tiny bit, maybe 1.1 or 1.2. You know, it takes a little bit off the edges so it can kind of compensate for movement. And so your 14 millimeter lens now becomes closer to 16 or 17 millimeters. So it's not really as wide as it was when you were taking photos. So that's one thing you have to consider. So let me go ahead and put the tele adapter on. Let me find the place that we can kind of get an idea. 1 second. I see my battery light flashing, so I'm going to have to do this fast. All right, so look at this. Look at the tree line here with the Canon and this tree over here, and then I'm just going to put this on. And voila, look how much wider this is. I seem a little further away too, right? And look how much more of the environment I'm capturing, right? So if you're in a place, you know, whether it's a big city or out here in an open field, you know, just having this wider angle, I think really will make a difference in your vlogging, in your photos, so that you get, I think, a more immersive experience. So I think that'll be it for vlogging. I need to change batteries. Don't buy cheap Chinese batteries, okay? I mean, I'm using them because I want to drain them until they don't work anymore, but only buy Olympus original batteries. Okay, so let me stop it here. I'm going to swap batteries and we're going to try and get a few photos. All right, so I picked a shot here, and this Canon over here, you can see probably right at the edge of your frame. And I'm going to see how this lens handles, or show you how this lens handles when you're kind of in direct sunlight, almost coming into the lens directly. And I'm going to do my best to compose a shot. I'm not the most creative person or photographer, but let's try it without the lens first, without the wide angle converter, and see what I can do. I'm so bad at composition. Okay, so that's the 14 millimeter. Let's put the wide angle converter on. Okay everyone, so I think I'll just wrap it up here and just tell you that I highly recommend this little wide angle converter. You know, if you get this wide angle converter, you can skip getting the 9 to 18 millimeter lens, which is like $500. I don't think that extra 2 millimeters is worth $500. If you need to go wider than what this can give you on a kit lens, then you really need to go with the 7 to 14 millimeters. And we'll talk about that lens maybe at another time if you're interested. Just ask me down below if you want me to talk about that lens, or lenses in general, okay? But if you have the 9 to 18 millimeters, don't get this, all right? If you don't have the 9 to 18 millimeters, save yourself some money and get this. And you know, those cheap Chinese ones that you see that screw on to almost any lens, don't get those, you know, unless you just want to have some fun. And you have to be careful of the filter threads and things, but, you know, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't recommend you get those. But as always, you know, I appreciate the great feedback I've been getting on my channel up to this time, and you guys have been really great to me, because I know my videos aren't that great. I do the best I can. And you guys have been very kind, so I really appreciate that. And if you want me to do some other kind of videos, you know, just let me know in the comments below. I do keep a list, and I'll show you that one day, of all the questions I get, and I try to answer them all. But in any case, if you'd like to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.